What's up, guys? It's the Warrior COTP here, back with another My DVD Collection, Part 20. So we're not finishing up the comedies just yet, but this is the next video. We'll be finishing them up, and there's a few other movies besides comedies in the next video too. So I think, all right, so we'll do it. First movie we got is one of my all-time favorite comedy movies. I look at way more than just a comedy movie, like a story too. But this movie is one of my favorites. Joe Pesci, Ralph Macchio, Marissa Tomei, and Fred Gwynne. He played Herman Munster. But it's My Cousin Vinny. If you've never seen this movie, it's pretty awesome. And Ralph Macchio, he is the Karate Kid. And if you guys are new, I leave that up there so you guys can read it. So if you want to read it, be sure to press pause. And I've said this in other videos. I usually personally, if I see DVD or a movie somebody has and I'm interested, I usually just go on YouTube and look up the trailer of the movie. I always like to do that. This movie is Office Space. I know, what's her name? Jennifer Aniston's in it. Ron Livingston. This movie is a real funny movie. This is definitely, I would definitely put this in my top, it's hard. Maybe top 25, definitely top 50 comedies. Love it. Next, we have Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? And this is George Clooney, John Turturro, and I don't know who the other guy is, but I'll put it a little bit closer so you can read that better. I think John Goodman's in it too. But I like this movie a lot. I've probably only seen it 3 times, maybe that, but it is a really good movie. I love the main song that's in it. Next, we have Nothing But Trouble. I've only seen this movie one time. For having Chevy Chase, Dan Aykroyd, John Candy, and Demi Moore in it, it's a little bit dumb, but I'm not going to say it's straight trash. It's definitely worth watching once. It is entertaining. I would just suggest don't turn your head while you're watching it. Just watch it straight through to get the most fulfillment out, because you're probably going to think it's more trash if you're not really paying attention. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it's a decent movie. Honestly, I'd watch it again. Next, we have 9 Lives with Kevin Spacey, Jennifer Garner, and Christopher Walken. Now, I can't say I remember seeing this. There's a possibility I've seen it. I can't remember seeing it. It don't look familiar. Because I am married, and my wife did pick out some of these too, so I'm sure that's probably one that she picked out. Next, Night at the Museum, Battle of the Smithsonian. These movies are always fun movies. With Ben Stiller and Owen Wilson. Next, we have the first one. Sorry, they're not in order. Ben Stiller, Night at the Museum. Like I said, they're both good movies though, so can't go wrong watching either one. Now this is definitely, if I had to watch a movie, comedy movie, and it was on the wing, and somebody asked me to pick out a movie, or even by myself, this would definitely be one of the top 5 I would go to. Definitely a lot of nostalgia that goes back to high school watching this. Very fun movie. Me and my friends used to watch this a lot back in high school, like after we got off school, and we're just like, you know, pretty much just warming up for the night. We used to watch this movie. Very funny. And that's with let me look on the back real quick. Will Ferrell and Chris Kattan, plus many other actors in it. Next, we have Necessary Roughness. This is a football movie, as you can see. Sinbad's in it. And I think it's been a while since I've seen this, but I thought there was a supermodel that played in this. Yeah, Kathy Ireland. She played in it. She was like a swimsuit model. But it's a pretty funny movie. I will say, it's funny. It's not like, you know, one of the greatest comedies ever made or nothing. It's worth watching once. Next, we got Napoleon Dynamite. This movie's pretty funny. I know people are always on the fence with this movie. Sorry, I had to get something to drink. Me personally, I think it has one of, I don't know, funny, ignorant scenes in it when the uncle is sitting there bragging about how he could throw a pigskin 1,000 yards back when he was in his glory days. And then he says to the one nerd on the porch where they're eating their steak dinner, he's like, really? The nerd says that to him. He's like, yeah, watch this. And he grabs not his steak off of his plate, but the nerd's plate, and chucks it at Napoleon driving down the street on with his friend on the pegs, and hits him right in the face with the other dude's steak. And he's like, sweet. Like, you just straight disrespected that man's dinner. I don't know. I just find that hilarious. Yeah, you'd be getting punched in the face for that one. Next, we have Jack Black, Nacho Libre. Now, I will say, I'm not the biggest Jack Black fan at all, especially here recently. But there is a few movies of his I like, and I thought he did an awesome job in the new Mario movie as Koopa. Next, we have Mystery Men. An all-star cast, and very funny. If you've never seen it, it's basically about guys that want to be superheroes. It's basically what it is, want to be superheroes. And by the way, guys, I don't know if I said it yet this video, but if I hold DVD up from, oh wait, I did, so I'm not going to repeat myself. I just make a lot of videos, so sometimes I forget. So next we have Mr. Deeds, Adam Sandler and Winona Ryder, and John Turturro's in it too, plus many other actors. This is definitely one of my favorite Adam Sandler movies. Definitely put it in the top 10 Adam Sandler movies. For sure. Next, we have Mr. Woodcock. And this is Billy Bob Thornton, Sean William Scott, and Susan Sarandon. Another funny movie. It's been a couple of years since I've seen it, but it is funny. Next, we have Midnight Run. And this has Robert De Niro and Charles Grodin. If you guys don't know who Charles Grodin is, he is the dad from Beethoven, and he also played the uncle in Clifford, one of my favorite comedy movies with Martin Short. Next, we have Mickey Blue Eyes. Now, I don't remember picking this one up. I do remember seeing it, so it could have been one of my wife's pickups. But I do like James Caan a lot, and I don't mind Hugh Grant. He's cool too. So I don't really have anything to say on this movie because I can't remember if I saw it or not. May have, but I don't know. Next, we have Jim Carrey, Me, Myself, and Irene. Now, this movie is a very fun movie. I've probably seen this at least a handful of times throughout the years. I do like it a lot. And I don't know if I said it, but Jim Carrey is definitely in my top 5, if not top 3 comedy actors. And you know what I like about him so much, just like Adam Sandler, they are actors that remind me of Jerry Lewis. And Jerry Lewis could make you laugh just by facial expressions. You know what I mean? And I think that's very important to be a great comedian. You know, anybody can tell a joke. So next, we got Bill Murray, Meatballs. This is definitely a classic. Very, very old movie. Next, we have Robin Williams, Man of the Year. And I'm not going to front. I don't remember this movie. I'm pretty sure I've seen it, but I just don't remember it. Now, I definitely don't have that many Tyler Perry movies. I've seen a few. This is Medea's Class Reunion. Class is in session, and Medea is going to teach you a lesson. Next, I have Made. This is with Vince Vaughn, Jon Favreau, Sean Combs, Peter Falk, Vincent Pastore. If I ain't saying these right, I'm sorry, guys. I'm not really that aware of these actors. Some of them are heard of, some of them I haven't. Now, Vince Vaughn is one of my favorite actors that's in comedies. Like, Old School is just a classic, but definitely one of my favorites. Next we have, and I've never seen that movie, so I'm not going to act like I have. Next we have Our Family Wedding. And this has Forest Whitaker in it, America Ferrera, Carlos Mencia, Regina King, and Lance Gross. Now, I've never seen this movie either. It's probably one of my wife's. Because when me and her got married, we combined our DVD collections. And I had a lot that she didn't have. Well, we didn't have a lot in general. But she had her collection, I had my collection. So when we put them together, you know, probably, you know, Tyler Perry was in there and, you know. All right, so next we got one of my favorites. I was just talking about it with Vince Vaughn and Will Ferrell and Luke Wilson, Old School. This is the unrated version. One of the funniest, I guess, like you could say, college movies. It's basically about friends starting a fraternity that are well out of college, that are friends, and they miss the fraternity or college life. So they start a fraternity, and the rules are anybody could be in it. If you're in college, not in college, it don't matter how old you are, and it's just, it's funny. So next, I've talked about this one, and so the black guy's name is Gregory Hines in this, and that was the guy I was talking about. I forgot his name, but he was in a lot of movies, like comedies and stuff. And then Billy Crystal. So, yeah, this is a cop comedy. Really good movie. If you've never seen it, definitely watch it. Check it out. Next, we have Ruthless People with Danny DeVito and Bette Midler. It's been a while since I've seen this movie. You know, if I've seen a movie one time and it's been a while, good luck trying to get a sentence out of me what it's about. You'll be lucky if I can tell you who's in it. Well, for the most part. But yeah, I just don't remember it. I'll put the back up there if you want to read it. Next, I got a double feature, and both of these are good. If you guys ever want to check them out, if you never heard of it or never seen it, Rush Hour and Rush Hour 2 with Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker. Both good movies. Sorry about that sticker. Next, we have Role Models. This was definitely a funny movie. It's basically with Sean William Scott, and he, you know, I can't really explain this movie. I just remember it's like some kids that are in like a club that do like nights and, you know, like sword nights and stuff like that. It was funny. It's a weird movie too, but it's definitely funny. I can tell you that it's real funny, and it has McLovin in it from man, I forgot what that movie was called. I think it was called something bad. Something bad. You guys remember what it is? If I don't come across it, leave it in a comment. Next we have Road Trip with Tom Green. Somebody was actually talking about this movie the other day. And the funny thing is, that guy, I don't know if anybody else feels this way, he reminds me of the guy from The Warriors. And the bad guy that clings to bottles. Sean William Scott's in it. That dude is in it from Z Nation and the new guy. But yeah, pretty funny movie. Now, I will say it's been a long time since I've seen it. Next, I have Howard Stern, Private Parts. I'm sure he's cameoed in movies before, besides being in this movie. But, I'll tell you like this. I can't remember when I've seen this movie. I know I did a long time ago. I did used to listen to Howard back in the day. I don't know, about 12 years ago. I used to listen to his show. I don't like everything that goes on in the show, but definitely has some funny things to it. Next, we have the Pink Panther with Kevin Kline, Steve Martin, and Beyonce. Now, this movie, they used to make Pink Panther movies all the time like this back in the 70s and I think early 80s, maybe even 60s. I came across a set, and it was at the Goodwill, and I already had a bunch of movies before I saw it, and I was so on the edge. I was picking it up, putting it back, picking it up, putting it back. It was like 3 movies or something, or 5 movies in a box set, like big box set. It's like a collector's thing, and they wanted like a certain amount of money. Then I had to put back like a certain other movies that I really wanted. So I ended up not getting it, but I kind of regret it at the same time. So next we got Seth Rogen and James Franco and Pineapple Express. And it looks like Danny McBride, maybe. Yeah, it has a bunch of good actors in it. It's been a long time since I've seen this movie, too. Like, I know I've seen it. You asked me what it's about, I couldn't tell you. I think I got this one maybe at Walmart in the $5 bin. Paul Blart Mall Cop and Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. Now, these movies are good. They're definitely very humorous movies. Next, we have Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau and Out to Sea. And they were both in Grumpy Old Men. So, I don't know much about Walter Matthau. I did watch his documentary. I probably know more than most. But one of his biggest movies that he starred in was that baseball movie, Bad News Bears. But he was a very underrated actor. I will just tell you that. If you watch his documentary, it's a pretty good documentary, and his life story was pretty interesting. But I have never seen that movie. Next, we have Our Idiot Brother. Now, I've seen this movie once. Can't tell you much about it. So, if you're interested, watch a trailer or read that if you can read it. Next, we have Step Brothers. This movie is popular because it was a very funny movie. Every movie that I've seen with John C. Reilly and Will Ferrell has been funny. They were a great duo, and honestly, from what I've heard, Will Ferrell said that John C. Reilly had everything basically, he taught him basically how to be a comedian, and he didn't find that very funny. He was like, I could be a comedian before I met him, and, because if you ever watched John C. Reilly's roles back in the day, they were more or less serious movies. Everything I saw him in, like I think something called maybe Crazy 8 and State of Grace with Sean Penn and Gary Oldman, and So there's some other movies too I've seen him in. I can't remember, but yeah, he's a good actor. Gangs of New York. Like, he's an excellent actor. I love John C. Reilly. But awesome movie, regardless. So next, I already showed you guys Waiting. That was mixed up in my collection. So I had, which I said in that video, I had Still Waiting years before I found Waiting. I finally found Waiting. And I think I came across Waiting one other time, but it was all scratched up, so I didn't buy it. Like, I check movies, especially if I'm not getting it offline. I always check them. And even if I'm getting them offline, I make sure they say very good copies. But some people lie, I'll tell you that much. But I will tell you this, every movie I got did play so far. Even if it was scratched up, it was light scratches. But still, you say very good, you don't expect to see no heavy scratches or a bunch of little scratches that are light even. Next, we have Starsky and Hutch with Ben Stiller and Owen Wilson. Now, these guys must be really good friends. They've been in a lot of movies together. But this is definitely a good movie. It's based off of old 70s Starsky and Hutch TV show. Next, we have Spy with Melissa McCarthy, Jason Statham, Rose Byrne, and Jude Law. Now, I remember this movie too. I don't remember what it was about, but I remember watching it. I can at least say I watched it and know I watched it without guessing. So this is Jeff Dunham, Spark of Insanity. I would like to get all of his. Actually came across one of Jeff Dunham's comedy tour DVDs the other day, but I wasn't trying to get over a certain dollar amount at the Goodwill. Next, we got Spaceballs with Mel Brooks, John Candy, Rick Moranis, and Mel Brooks made this movie along with Blazing Saddles and I think a few other movies. But this is definitely a classic. This would definitely, if I had to keep 20 movies that were comedies, this would be one of them. And I know most of it would be bias and nostalgia reasons. Next, we have Pauly Shore and The Son-in-Law. This is my favorite Pauly Shore movie by far. Great movie. If you've never seen it. And the guy in the back on the left, he is the guy from My Cousin Vinny. He's the one lawyer. And the old guy, he played in Toy Soldier, amongst other movies. But yeah, this movie's awesome. This is definitely a classic. Great movie. Next, we have The Silver Streak. After I got this, I saw this on Tubi, and I watched it right away. It was a pretty cool movie. It basically takes place on a train. And Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor definitely been in a lot of movies together. I wouldn't say it's their best movie, but it's not a bad movie. It's definitely good. It's worth watching. Next, we have a double feature with Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. This is a English comedy duo pair, and they did Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz, and they did another movie too. And as you can see, I only got this for $2 from 2nd Avenue. But yeah, Shaun of the Dead. That's the main reason why I got this. I honestly, one day I'll watch that, but this is why I got that. Shaun of the Dead. It's a great zombie movie, period, and it's very funny. So, you know, that's all the reason I got this. But you know what? It's still cool that the other movie's on it. Next, we got Jackie Chan and Owen Wilson and Lucy, I guess Liu, I don't know, in Shanghai Noon. I remember when this first came out. Actually, pretty good movie. Next, we got Shallow Hal. This is definitely Jack Black. He did, before he was big, you would see him in movies here and there, and he never really had big roles. I would say this was probably one of his first big roles, Shallow Hal. And this movie was pretty cool. It's definitely funny. Last but not least for this DVD part is Robin Williams in the movie RV. This is a family comedy. Pretty funny movie. Me and my wife, we've watched this good handful of times together. But at any rate, guys, that will conclude this video, which was my DVD collection part 20, I think. Not sure. I think it was part 20. And I appreciate you guys watching. If you're new and it's the first time you watch, there's going to be plenty more parts in my movie collection, or go back and watch the old ones if you enjoyed it. If you also enjoyed it, sub. I appreciate you know, all you guys watching and everything else, and thanks for your time, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace out.